Welcome guys, welcome back to another episode of Clint's Views Creative. Today we have a master. Some people call him sensei, some call him mastermind. But today we call him Mr. Fedar Idris.
Hello.
So I just want to welcome you to the show. Today we're gonna
Having me?
thank you for being here and thank you for taking this time out of your day to share your knowledge with us. So let's just cut to the chase. Mr. Fedar, or Sensei, because he coaches me as well, and this establishment is an amazing place to be at. People really make you feel like you are part of the family. So I'll put the link below and the number.
Yeah.
Can I?
Counting on the yes.
Cool. I'll put it below and please check him out. So, Coach.
Yes, let's go.
What type of business, can you just introduce yourself and say what type of business do you run?
Hello, my name is Fedar Idris. We have the gym is called Fighters Inc. MMA and Wellness Academy. It's essentially a gym and a wellness academy. So we do all forms of martial arts, we can get into it a bit later. And then also wellness in terms of therapy, counseling, life coaching.
Cool. So, many people fear in life.
Yeah.
And they say fear keeps you alive. So, in your sense, what was the difference between fear and faith when starting out this establishment you have?
Yeah. I think I've always been, first and foremost, my background is counseling. I'm a therapist. And then, of course, I love positive psychology, which talks more about into life coaching, into positive thinking, into goal setting, goal achievement. So my mindset was always and is always optimistic in that regard. So I look at things not as problems but as challenges. And if it is, what's your question again?
What was the difference between fear and faith in terms of starting?
Yes, so like you say, the faith is very important, and then of course to face your fears in regards to whatever challenges that you are being faced. And you can go more into that concept, but the faith is number one, and then with the faith, you're optimistic, you believe God created you with immense potential, and you believe whatever you're doing, God is with you. So if whatever you might fear or think is a major problem, major challenge, believe that God will be there with you through it, and put your trust in Him and do your best. That's all you can do in life.
Thank you for that. So, how has your business started? Because each story has a beginning, and I personally believe that there's three things in life: beginning, maintaining, and then growing.
Yeah.
So, can you take it back to how has this establishment called Fighters Inc. started?
I would say it grew organically. Like I didn't plan to start a gym when I was younger. I didn't plan to start my own gym when I was younger. My background is working in the NGO sector as a therapist and working with youth development. So I worked for the NGO for 5 years, been volunteering before that also for 5 to 6 years in different various kind of NGOs, focusing on youth development especially. And then I was doing martial arts myself. So I done for about 8 years. I was by different gyms, 4 different gyms myself, enjoyed it, loved it. It was my kind of sport. I was always a sporty kind of person growing up. So in adulthood I found martial arts, Muay Thai, kickboxing, which I was into, enjoyed it. And then I worked for the NGO for like I said, for 5 years. And then I worked, as part of the NGO, I included my martial arts training, so I had a Muay Thai intervention. Then the kids, I would train them at the NGO once a week. Kids were enjoying it, they were loving it. It wasn't like a normal class, like where they had to sit, get bored, whatever life skills, or whatever other things we were training. The kids, they got bored, but just they would enjoy it and they want more and more and more and more. So we had it, and then they said, now we want to have our own Muay Thai group of classes before you start one fast. So they wanted to learn more, and then I started training in my garage. I lived in Kenwood at that time. This is just over 5 years ago, 2014. So I started my garage. I had a bag there, 1 or 2 bags, trained them in my garage, And then they said, we want equipment, we want our own gloves, they used to borrow my things. It was 4 youth at the time, at risk. And then we said, okay, we start a boot camp, we can maybe raise some money, buy equipment, buy shin pads for kickboxing, Muay Thai, you need gloves, wraps, shorts, proper shorts, shin pads, and then you need mouth guards if you like to do some sparring as well. So we needed funds for all of that, and then we started a boot camp. That was at the end of 2014. It was summertime, like this time, on a field, which worked quite well. And then people enjoyed it, fitness, toning, boot camp, kickbox fit. Then it grew quite big, and then it was like, at the point about 40 to 50 people on the field that we were busy training.
Wow.
So people were enjoying themselves. And then from there, we trained the kids there on the field as well, twice a week. And we trained them twice a week all together. And then we hung the bag on the tree. Can you have a picture of that? We hung the bag on the tree with a chain. And then from that training, 4 boys fought and they all won.
Wow.
So after that, and then they were like, Vida, what did we, can we do fight professional? And then that got me to start thinking now. We're not just doing it as an intervention, we're doing it as a way, a means to keep you busy in a productive way. They actually can do it as a sport. Because a lot of our people in the Cape Flats area, they struggle, they don't know what they can do, not sure they can get a bursary. Their pathway is sort of set out in a way where what did my parents do as work? The parents would not believe the kids can become much better on a holistic sense. Then they will just follow the parents' path for money earning, whether it's working in a shop or being a manual labourer. I don't want to mention any categories, but manual labourers. At the end of the day, the kids they go to school, they try, they're not kept in school, and then they just happen to fall out, and then they happen to do manual labour or working in shops, following their parents' footsteps. So, of course, wanting more for the kids, showing them a better world, showing them a bigger world, showing possibilities is what martial arts can do. And then after that, I took it much more seriously. We are for the venue, and then the ball started rolling. So then I knew that this, in starting up as an entrepreneur, of course I done my research, and I knew that if I want to do this seriously, I must go into it 100%. And in 2015, I started renting at a place, and I gave up my job and went into it full time.
Wow. So from that, I really sense that there's a real heart for the community, a real sense of longing to do something good for the community, and you're kind of using Fighters Inc. as a tool to reach out, right?
Yeah.
And also, I sense that your past experience as a psychologist really comes through when you training people how to fight, because that perception is also used in real life, in the job places, in education, and so I see that it's a very versatile thing that you learn here at Fighters Inc. You kind of wholeheartedly a wholesome, that's the right word, a wholesome training facility where you train the mind, the body, the soul, just to be a better person. And from being at Fighters Inc., I think that's one of the greatest things that I've learned so far from you. And so, with that said, you just explained your journey right now, and you explained it so beautifully. But what was the fears you had when starting? What could you see as the obstacle? Like, for instance, you mentioned you left your job. Now, obviously you're a man that's probably married, right?
Yes.
You have kids?
Yes.
So that's another thing to take into account. But you saw a need in the community. So what was your fears between letting go of something that was like a golden handcuff and something that you could do yourself?
I think it's a big jump having an entrepreneur mindset from working in a job where you know how much you're going to get every month. So it's a big sort of mental shift in that regard, where some people who like comfort zones won't be able to get out. And some people who want certainty also won't be able to get out of that. Because as an entrepreneur, you know that you do your research, you know what is entailed in regards to that, you know the work ethic, you know the sacrifice, and then of course you get the real life challenges as well. You know these things, you do the research for it. Like, just to recap, for like an entrepreneur, someone who has to work 24/7, So there's no time to take days off. You work when you start off your business. You work weekends as well. That is what I researched and then I implemented and understood in that regard. And then your brain is continuously working on how to make the business work first, and then how to make it sustainable as well. So you continuously think of new ideas, new concepts, whether it is marketing, whether it is a business plan, improving on the business plan, whether it is whatever service you are giving, how to improve that. Every single aspect of the business, you're thinking of the whole time continuously, because you have your overheads, you must pay every single month as well. And then of course, given some people who are married as well, with children, which are, and when I started, then I got married, and then I got a baby in the first year, because I got a child now 4. So the first year of the business, of course, no child. The next year I got a child. Then of course it was a journey where, in terms of the wife is stressing about, you're just starting a business now, when you make money, So that is a factor where that will come into play for a lot of people who are married or do have children. But of course, as an entrepreneur mindset, you know that within the first 3 years of the business, you're almost going to make no money. And if you can't handle that, you can't be entrepreneur.
That's the truth, eh?
That's just the facts of the matter. So you have to make provisions, whatever other way, just to make ends meet for yourself. And they know that within the business setting, in realistic terms, establishing a sustainable business where you have gradual growth as you go along all the time. Whatever you make, you're going to have to reinvest to make sure your business is going to actually last. And then we don't expect an income for the first 3 years, and you're working 24/7. That's why it's tough to be an entrepreneur.
Sure.
Not everybody has the balls. You know what I mean? For that. So if someone starts a business and then they tell me nowadays they close the business after 1 year, and I'm like, too soon. Your mindset isn't ready. You wasn't ready as a mindset of an entrepreneur to go into any business if you're going to go after 1 year. So it takes at least 3 years, and then you will see organically again, you'll start to grow, you'll start to make some progress here and there. And I think only after 5 years, then you will really be established and then see good quality growth in your business.
I can say from my generation, the Instagram generation, the microwave generation, you want instant, you want instant gratification.
I think the problem with them is that they watch a lot of marketing, I would say, from other people and other athletes, and then the marketing makes it look like you think positive, now you're not going to get it. Whereas the grind time is what is most important. The ability and the willingness to grind and to sacrifice over the long term to get where you want to be, and to take whatever comes with that storm and pushing through. And that is ultimately what counts the most. So just in case you don't ask me, if I get any advice for young entrepreneurs, is that from young, get experience in what you would like to pursue as in entrepreneurship. Work by those places, work very hard, work extremely hard, put a lot of hours in, and put in that grind time. Book knowledge is one knowledge. YouTube knowledge or Instagram knowledge is nothing. You think you know it, but half the things that people are showing you is for marketing. Whether it is how someone trains for a fight, how they say they train for a fight, whatever, half is marketing. They have to most look good when the media comes. So your own grind time, your own hours put in whatever obstacle, whatever goal you'd like to achieve as an entrepreneur is what is going to matter at the end of the day. So whether it is whatever it is, put in hours that relates to that goal, to that entrepreneurship, as many hours in different facets of the business as possible, and then life will give you what you deserve by doing that. So I think that is the challenge for today's youth, where they don't want to do menial work, they don't want to do normal jobs, they want a quiet job, a high-paying job now. I think also will stay home because mommy and daddy is not going to pay for my DSTV, and still mommy and daddy bought me a car already, so I'm in a comfort. I don't have to go work. So just like in terms of how that relates to me, in terms of character building, like when I was 18, my parents said, do you want clothes, do you want shoes? Okay, pep stores. I'm like, no, we don't want to go to fix clothes. We want to dress nice. We go out weekends with our cousins or whatever. So he said, no, if you want nice things, you buy it yourself. Since I was 18, so then from that time, I knew I had to work. So then from 18, I was of course still studying, and look for work. You work weekends normally if you're studying and you have a job. You work Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And then you still go to school all week, or varsity all week. And so I work at Edgar's already, I work at Lee Cooper, like the retail's the worst. They would make you pack rails or pack clothes, take the whole day, and they would be very rude to you. And you must all do your job every day, whole day. I used to work at Canal, it takes an hour to take a bus and a taxi to get to Canal. And you must all go home still, and then sometimes the buses isn't there, you have to wait. So that is what work I had to go to from 18 until 20 on. And I believe that built my character to know that tough times don't last, but tough people do, and you have to push through, and that's what character building is, and what gives you actually the ability to push in so many hours, because the same like an athlete, the one who puts in the most hours becomes the best. Now the entrepreneur who successful in a business is the same. One who can put in the most hours in that given task, which is really difficult, he's going to become good at it, given he assesses and improves all the time. And that mindset is developed in you from younger days. You can't just automatically accept to have that grind mentality, or else someone else can outgrind you in your own industry.
And that is knowledge from a person that's been through it all, and to the people watching, use this knowledge, then implement it. This is wisdom, this is wisdom, this is wisdom.
We have a lot more to learn.
We have a lot more to learn, so always try to find yourself a mentor.
I have a lot more to learn.
Oh, I was just saying. So what you see there is already a bunch of new knowledge for people like me. You know, because I'm also an entrepreneur, I do my own thing, but we learn from each other, and we learn. So just like every other industry out there, many people will be doing the same thing. Like for instance, there's many photographers, there's many chefs, there's many gyms in the area. So, but I believe the heart of the gym, the vision that they carry, sets them apart. What would you say is the heart of the business? Can you articulate your mission and vision?
I would say our heart of the gym is that we do it with our heart. So our goal is to develop better human beings, and I think that is the difference from the goal of the gym is still true to where and how we started. So with the gym, I also intend to establish it's a martial arts gym, it's a dojo, so that the character development that comes with that is implemented at Fighters Inc. So our motto is respect, discipline, commitment. And I expect that to be in the dojo and everyday life. And then God first, believe in yourself, never doubt. So that we take in terms of in general and also in goal achievement. If someone's going to say they're going to become a champion, if you trust in God, you're going to become a champion. And then we develop world champions. Right? We develop SA champions already and a world champion in MMA. And then hard work, dedication, relentlessness. There's no shortcuts. We don't believe in any trick or any magic way to become successful in terms of how we do it. It's hard and smart work over the long term that's going to get results. And then our ultimate goal is not just to develop fighters or martial artists or people who lose weight. Our goal is to develop better human beings through implementing all those principles everywhere in your life. I think that's what makes the difference, is that we stick true to that, even if it doesn't make us money, even if it doesn't make us look flashy. But I believe we have to stand for something, or we will fall for anything.
So, as a person that produces a product or a service, and Fighters Inc. is an established business, would you say marketing matters?
I would say marketing matters a lot. Marketing, of course, it matters. If you don't show them what you are doing, they won't know what you are doing. So I think marketing, effective, very good marketing is very important. Show people what you are doing, show the level at which you are doing it on. And nowadays, of course, social media marketing, which is very important. Most of the people or your clientele could be mostly on social media and not watching TV all day, for example. So social media is a new medium now, and so you should be clued up and be consistently marketing all your products on social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, there's TikTok now. I'm not sure if you know what the business.
It's a weird platform to be on.
Because that realize we dance too much.
So we all measure success in a different way, but success is perceived differently to different people. I think to the now generation is that success is overnight. But how would you, as a business owner, the mastermind of Fighters Inc., measure success?
That's a very interesting question, very deep question. The way I would measure success is, okay, let's make it twofold. Let's say I would like to develop, for me as a coach, of course I'm coaching people to lose weight, I'm coaching people in martial arts, if it's boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA. That my ultimate goal would be to develop a world champion, a dominant world champion, and then simultaneously for that world champion to be a better human being in terms of with that platform inspiring other people to live better lives, helping other people, empowering other people, inspiring other people, and making a meaningful difference in the world, having achieved that platform, not saying that title or whatever, that platform and ability to actually make a difference, that because of the development, the personal development at Fighters Inc., they actually implement that on that scale, on a large scale. And then, so I come back to your question, success for me would be success in what you are training, but more deeply success in actually becoming a better human being through the training. In every context of the term, self-development. Sometimes that is the most difficult thing, to actually face your demons, improve on yourself, work on yourself. If you need some therapy, go for therapy. If you need to improve on yourself in terms of self-doubt maybe, or self-belief, wherever the aspect is, and then actually be brave enough to face it, work on it, and aim your best, and plan your best, and work your best on improving in that aspect as well.
And that's actually a very deep answer. It's a very deep answer. Because I can say mainly that people today, they refuse to see that there is a problem, and if you deny a problem, you will deny a solution as well. And so here at Fighters Inc., they are solution driven for individuals to become better people, and I like that a lot.
Because ultimately, because like I'm training for quite a long period of time now, myself, and then I still started the gym for 5 years now. And a lot of people start martial arts because of some personal reason. So it's a very good intention that you could have to also say that I'm doing now martial arts for self-defense, and now I'm also going to work on myself as well personally. And that is I hope is the mindset that I think. There's a lot of gyms who don't have that mindset. You're just going to kick bags and punch pads, and then you hopefully to spar some people and then kick them a bit, and then you feel good afterwards about yourself. But of course the whole mindset that you come into fighting is different, because you can see the setup. And then of course my intention is that with those principles, mission and our vision, that you implement that every day in the gym and outside.
So I think we covered what your niche is already, because we see the heart of the gym and why it exists and how it started. So to our generation, we always want to see ourselves with Bugattis and these big cars and it's overnight success, but no one really knows the pains with the position of power. So as a business owner, can you share some of your responsibilities as a business owner? What you do from day to day?
I do everything. So I do everything, and I'm also learning everything now. So I do the marketing, I do clients, I manage the business. Of course, I outsource the accounting, and then the group classes. I train the group classes as well, and then I got an awesome team that I trained up. Sarah assists me with the admin, so she does the admin, and then I got 2 guys who train as well, Terence Valero and Heinrich Jacobs. They are aspiring fighters and they want to keep in their lane, so they're staying in the gym and helping with the coaching. So I've coached I train them and coach them up, so they assist me with the clients and the classes. And then, yeah, so I just love, I want to be involved and include up and develop my ability in the sport which I'm doing to the best of my ability as a coach. So I'm also learning wrestling and jiu-jitsu as well. Whereas I was initially a stand-up coach, and I initially learned stand-up myself. So I want to get involved in all aspects of the business, and then I oversee my employees who is responsible for that.
So I see that the mindset at Fighters Inc. is very vital.
Yeah.
Everyone strives for their success as a person, as an individual, to become a better person because of one person's mindset, which is you, the sensei. So we're just gonna get to, I think we should ask this very pivotal question. Like, what advice would you give for aspiring entrepreneurs? I need you to look into this camera and just grab the attention very violently and be like, this is what you need.
The advice I give you is to say that no one owes you anything, right? So tell your mom you don't want the car, tell your mom you don't want the pocket money, and then you tell yourself that you are responsible fully for yourself, and only the grind time will give you the reward of being a very successful entrepreneur given in 5 years' time, and to put in the time required to get as much experience as you can in the field you'd like to go into, whether they don't pay you, whether they pay you a little, whatever the case might be. Only experience gives you wisdom, and experience meaning you put in time into something over a long period of time, whether you don't like it, whether you don't, whether it's hot, whether it's raining, whether it's storming, whatever. Excuses doesn't count. Only hours putting into a given task counts at the end of the day, and sacrifices is something you're going to have to do. Unfortunately, so even with the TMI, it's sacrifice that you have to do. I work at the gym. I get here when I have clients 11 or 12 o'clock in the day, and then you work until 8, opposite 9, and then I work 6 days a week. Over the long term, that's what I do. My family understands it. They expect it of me, and yes, so my intention is to reap the rewards of that in the long term. But I know that entrepreneurship is long, hard hours. The rewards in the start is not a lot, but it's important to keep, like we said in the beginning, keep your faith very strong, keep your self-belief very strong, and as long as you are keeping on improving every day, you will make it. And just never give up. The mindset is never give up, never give up. And another important point is don't ask people's advice. A lot of people starting off something, now they're uncertain. Of course, it's normal. You don't have experience in that business already because you're the first time entrepreneur. So you ask your family advice who doesn't have a business, your cousin or brother who don't have a business. You ask your friend who doesn't have a business, he gives you advice. So what advice is he giving you from? You had the braveness, the idea, the courage, the mindset to say, I want to start something. But they didn't yet ever have that mindset. So you're on a different level. I'm not saying you're better than them, but I'm just saying you're on a different level. So I would say rather ask people who are entrepreneurs. If you just speak to them, they will never tell you can't do anything. They will just say, give you advice on how or when or whatever to do it, but they will never actually discourage you. But anyone else who is in a normal job will say, no, stick to a normal job. It's secure, but you know what to expect. You're going to get money every month. Your business might fail, whatever the case might be. So I think I went through that myself, and then do it yourself. That's very important. So don't ask people advice who is not entrepreneurs. Go to entrepreneurs, keep quiet about what you are doing, work hard, and then the other thing is don't start with somebody else. Like you have the mindset, once again, you have the mindset, the idea came in your mind, now you're trying to convince your friend to go into business or your cousin or whoever. They're doubting themselves, they're delaying the start, putting off their lives, of what happened in their lives onto your project, so to speak. So just start it yourself. Ask people who have experience in the business, who are entrepreneurs, And in the last piece of gold, start where you at with what you have, and the momentum will grow. I don't want to elaborate. This is not time when you must think for yourself.
Of course. So this has been Coach or Sensei for Dar and Clint's Views Creative.
Yes.
And we just want to say, let's say yes, Fighters Inc. Horse.
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 That's it.
Thank you very much, guys.